Good day, everyone. Welcome to CX Excellence Chats with Anjali, the podcast that's all about transforming your business through the power of customer experience. I'm your host, a growth and customer strategy consultant with a passion for discovering brand and human relationships. In each episode of this podcast, we dive into a critical component of strategy that can potentially make a huge difference in the evolution of your business, but always and always powered with a customer lens. The theme for today's episode is redefining financial planning. We look at some industry trends, CX innovation, and also the human side of money. So, in order to set the context, just look at the words financial planning. Two words that hold immense power to completely change someone's life. Yet, for most people, it remains an afterthought. We often think about money in terms of income and expenses, savings and spendings, but rarely do we see it as a way to design the future we truly want. The truth is, financial security isn't about numbers, investments, or policies. It's about a peace of mind, freedom, and the ability to protect and fulfill our dreams. But let's be honest, navigating financial planning isn't easy. Insurance policies seem complex, investments seem risky, and the fear of making the wrong decisions leads many to make no decision at all. The industry has long been seen as transactional. Companies sell products, customers buy them, and the relationship ends there. But today, that's changing. AI, digital platforms, and new business models are transforming financial services. And customers are demanding more transparency, more personalization, and a human first approach. So, what does the future of financial planning look like? How can companies make financial security more accessible, more intuitive, and even more empowering for their customers? And most importantly, how do we build trust in an industry that should be about people and not about policies? So, discuss this. I'm joined by Mr. Sanjeev Bajaj, Joint Chairman and Managing Director at Bajaj Capital Limited, who has been one of the forerunners in financial planning services in India. Welcome, Mr. Bajaj.
Thank you, Anjali. Thank you.
Needless to say, he's a financial planning, insurance, and wealth creation expert, a leading angel investor and startup mentor, and may I say, an AI aficionado by choice. Under his aegis, Bajaj Capital has been one of the forerunners in providing financial planning services, having created wealth and prosperity for millions of Indians over the last 60 years. We will explore his views on CX and how the industry is evolving, and how AI is bridging gaps and the real life impact of smart planning. So, Mr. Bajaj, let's dive into CX excellence chats. So, as we said, we're talking about an industry that's evolving and how we can make financial planning more human. So, at the start, permit me to say that financial planning feels like something that most Indians feel it's something I will do someday. But in an uncertain world, that someday really cannot wait. But somebody like you who was born into this institution of finance of Bajaj Capital, what is that one moment when you were growing up in the last many years that changed the way you thought about financial planning? Or did it come to you differently than it does to most people because you were embroiled in that world?
Yeah, so it's also the genre you grow with. Okay, so I come in from a family which is based on money. Finance was a very important thing. It wasn't that So for me, life wasn't always about spending. But even as a kid, my father used to give me assignments that look, draw something which can we can use as an ad. And now I realize it that a lot of the ads had cartoons which were designed by me, or they were small pictures made by me, like a money tree. So what happened is that the finance went into my blood. So for me, it wasn't a choice. It was just that I was always into it, and I never realized how this happened. But when I looked at those pictures and the exercises I had done, and the games I used to play with my father since I was very very young, it this brought money into my blood. And then when I turned 18, he gave me a corpus. He said, look, this is a corpus. Now I want you can blow this up, but I want you to invest in it. I want you to choose 5, 10 scripts and tell me why you have chosen them. And how so. So it made me invest that money. And then once I invested that money, I was invested in about 12 or 13 stocks. Now I wanted to read about them, so I started reading the pink papers. Okay, so that automatically made me want to know what is happening in the news, what is happening with the company, how does the news affect my company, so how does the various things happening in various sectors affect your investments. So it came from that's how it's got started. And then what happened was that what I realized, Indian financial services was very transactional. People knew products. So somebody came for a mutual fund, somebody came for a bond, somebody came to invest in fixed deposits. Yeah, but they were not saving towards a goal. It was, the purpose was that let me have money and goal will automatically happen. Then we said, okay, let us understand how is this done globally. Is there a better way? Then we came across financial planning, which started in US. We went and met them there. They said, and we met the financial planning board. What are you doing? And they told us Australia is the most cutting edge, because they have invested. The government that time had given a 20 million grant to build a curriculum for financial planning. They were recommending people to become financial advisors. So we said, let us understand that. We tied up with the Australian authority, brought in that curriculum into India, took it to the various regulators. The financial planning, what it does is that, like, without financial planning, life is about, I want to go somewhere, but you don't know where. So
Exactly.
you start walking, and most of the times you'll end up reaching somewhere. Okay, but financial planning is an art where you define where do you want to go. You choose your destination and then you plan a path to reach that destination. You do your prioritization of goals, and that itself is so difficult. If Anjali, if I was to make you sit down and ask you, what are your top 5 financial goals? Believe me, it'll be one of the most toughest exercise that you will do. If I ask you, why do you choose your financial planner? It's more of an emotion rather than rationality. He may be doing a very bad job for you, and you cannot hold him responsible because you're making that decision totally on emotion. A lot of 90% of the people, when they are asked this question, answer, look, I am choosing my financial planner because I like him. Now, whether that guy is competent, not competent, he's doing a good job or he's not doing a good job, but he's partying with you and he's being nice to you, doesn't mean that you should give him your money.
Right.
And that is why people don't excel in their money management.
Yeah, I agree.
People are not living the life they deserve to live because they don't even know. Other day I was doing financial planning for someone. He has an 11 crore corpus and he said, look, I can't live the lifestyle I want. I said, what is the lifestyle you want? He says, I want to spend 6 lakh rupees every month and I want this money to be left even when I'm gone. So we bought him a 99-year legacy plan where his children will get 10 crore rupees. So that part is taken care of. Okay? And instead of 6 lakh rupees, he can spend 10 lakh rupees a month. And if the market grows at 12%, he will still have money left and he can live a much better life. He said, no, no, let's be conservative. Even, because market has given a 15-16% return. I'm saying even with a balanced fund, you will get a 12-13% return. I said, okay, let's be even more conservative. Even at a 10% growth, he can live at 8 lakh rupees. At an 8% growth, he can live at 6 lakh rupees. And it takes care of his life. And I met him after 6-7 months of doing this exercise. He says, Sanjeev, I'm actually enjoying my life now.
Wow.
I told
But
you I wanted 6 lakh rupees. I wasn't spending 6 lakh rupees.
okay.
I was just into this earning mode. But I didn't realize that what am I earning for? At the end of the day, am I earning to make my children inefficient? But the pressure on them is not there. I'm not living my life. But at the end of the day, this thing. So now
Agree.
he was telling me every 2 months he's going on a holiday. He's living, staying in the best hotels, doing his passion. So, you can live a much better life if you do it professionally.
I agree. But you would agree that you were in a completely different paradigm. The family you were born into, the language that you've lived all your life is not what most Indians are born with or live with. In fact, in most families, the money conversation is taboo. When children are growing up, usually they are sent out of the room when money conversation is being had, which is why we grow up being so financially illiterate. And the illiteracy levels in this country are high. I mean, the literacy levels are low when it comes to finance. And that makes the whole thing even more difficult, especially for financial planners who first have to handhold them and educate them as to, how to even look at this, as you're saying, right? And that's probably the challenge for people like you and Bajaj Capital, who are trying to make a difference to people's lives, but they always look at them with skepticism.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, so let's say that, you talked about somebody who wanted to lead a very happy life and spend a lot of money. 6 lakhs spending every month is a pretty decent amount and, good living to have. And therefore, financial planning has been seen as something that the rich can indulge in. But between us, we recognize that the truth is far from that. Financial plan is no longer for the rich. And I know that at your organization, you're making a huge difference in terms of reaching it out to the larger population, where only a fraction of people have insurance or long term financial goals. And something's holding them back. So, how are your services evolving to include first time investors and underserved communities?
See, that's very difficult. You're trying to do something good for a person who doesn't understand it or trust it.
Hmm.
Plus, what you have to understand, Anjali, different people have different needs at different level.
Hmm.
Somebody wants 6 lakh rupees a month, and somebody is very happy at 6,000 rupees a month. Okay, so they are different people with different needs. It's all about education. It's all about trust. Okay, so my father used to tell me one thing. He says, Sanjeev, the biggest gift I can give you is that I can tell you to trust people. He's saying because we are taught don't trust anybody, don't do this, don't do that. But 90% of the people are good. They want to do good for you. 9% of the people may be bad and they may try to manipulate you, or you have to work hard to understand. And then 1% of the people are thieves. They don't even believe in God. Okay, so point is, for that 1%, don't punish the remaining 99%. Trust but verify. Okay,
Yeah.
learn to trust, and that's what I'll tell the people. Okay, look, as Bajaj Capital, we want to change your life. So first, we have to start with our own employees, helping them understand that why doing the right thing is important. And once you do the right thing, you will get the right results. Then we go on to the clients. It is being the patient, nice, honest, giving them the right advice, giving them the right product. Like today, for the common man, there is a Atal Bihari Pension Yojana, which is very difficult to get because, you know, government made that scheme, but they said it's only available through the bank, but the bank doesn't want to sell it. Okay, at the end of the day, most of the people are not able to get it. But it's a great scheme where you pay a few hundred rupees and you get 4,000 rupees as pension, which is a very good for a person who's working at a servant level.
Mm.
As you were saying, what have you done? Like everybody who works with me today has his own house, has a plan that the day he leaves my job, he will still have 30, 40,000 rupees coming to him per month. He will live probably a better life than he is living working with me. And this is about totally at the bottom of the pyramid. Similarly, if we do the right thing, we can take this to masses. We
Sure.
can help people, but then we have to make them understand one product is not going to do it. You have to get a bundle, and we will also have to work with the regulators in being having access to all the products.
So, whilst you are working at all ends of the spectrum, how you have the super premium luxury, finance advisors, but you also have the bottom of the pyramid advice, which you do in tier two, tier three. But one thing that we've seen common is that insurance is always a push product. Is it ever going to become a pull product that customers actually seek out? Do you see that change happening?
See, actually, it had, till about 2015, 16, or even 17, I'll agree, insurance was a push product. And the reason it is a push product, because the insurance company makes a product which is the best for itself. And then it says that whether whatever is your need, I will make a story to tell you that this product is the one that meets the need, whether it actually meets the need or not. And this is how the life insurance industry was built. Okay, look, one product with 100 different sales stories trying to meet 30 different needs, but they were genuinely not meeting the needs. Okay, so then what happened in 2016-17? There was a revolution. These high IRR products came, which are called the non-par products. They said, look, if you look at this product, you will get 6.7% yield, which is like a bank FD. 8% you pay 30% tax, you're getting 5.8. Here you are getting more than what you would get on your bank FD. You would get protection along with that. But and a lot of HNIs also started opting for those products. So insurance became from a push product to a pull product. People came, I want to buy this product. And people were investing 1 crore rupee checks. But as that happens in India, whatever is good, somebody comes with an idea and he changes it. So what they did is they increased the surrender value, which reduced the rates. Now today rates are down to 4.7, 4.8%, because to benefit some people who want to take back that money within 1 year, who are not the right insurance candidates. And that has resulted in products not becoming good. Products are not good anymore. And to compensate for that, now insurance companies have come back to the old stories, because memory is very short. They have forgotten the years of pain, torture, and not non-respect. Because the current generation, they just thought insurance. So again, we'll go back into a cycle where, and then there was a thing that, okay, above 5 lakh rupees, 1010D benefit or tax free will be withdrawn. Now insurance is a 30-year investment. If I'm not given tax breaks, why would I do it? Just for the fact that we don't want the Indian affluent to benefit. No rhyme, no logic, but the HNIs who are buying this product today, they don't buy. And insurance has been made into a commodity product. Okay, so it puts pressure on our infrastructure financing. It's told, oh, so what? We don't get money from the people. The whole, I think 17% of the insurance industry used to be above 5 lakhs. That's just totally got wiped out. So these things, it's a combination of both. That when you try to over manipulate, over regulate,
Yeah.
and just make too many changes, these things happen.
No, I agree. Actually, one of the categories that has become a little bit more pull driven has been, say, for instance, health insurance. And it's been driven by the fact that the medical costs have been rising exponentially and bulk of it is out of pocket. And people realize that, even one hospitalization can make life very difficult, can literally drive them to bankruptcy, right? So there has become a pull product. However, in the last few years, we've seen the premiums rise like crazy. And that's biting people hard. And so, like you said, it's cyclical. That whilst the demand has gone up, but the prices have also gone through the roof. So it's not really helping. So there was a social message or a social purpose to insurance, which somehow stands compromised, I feel.
No, so let me just tell you the story that how why life health insurance became popular, and I'm very proud to say I had a part in it. And similarly, the whole revolution was brought by this company called Apollo Munich. Okay, so earlier health insurance had so many conditions that you would always be confused. Room rate was capped at 1%. If you are in ICU, 2%. Per doctor visit, you would get 2,000 rupees or 500 rupees. Ambulance was 1,000 rupees, whether the hospital was charging you 4,000. So, what people, every time they would get their claim, they would feel cheated. That, okay, I didn't know that. And there were probably hundreds of conditions which were used. So Apollo Munich and we worked together, and Apollo Munich came up with a plan. This is all conditions removed. You buy health insurance, you get health insurance, you make a claim, you'll get the claim paid. And we are not getting into sub limits, we are not getting into this.
Sure.
That is where it changed the psyche. People said, yeah, okay, I made a claim, I've got the claim. It is very clear consumables which are optionals and the treatment. Okay, so only options are not allowed, which is fine. Okay, I ordered a roll for a guest who had come to meet me. That is not covered. That's fine. Or there are some there are some consumable items, my towel, this that, which are not covered. That's fine. So it became much more easier. It became much better. ठीक है? Yes, the costs are rising because you are stuck in old products. And what is happening that in that old products, more intelligent or the more aware investors are actually reviewing their policy and porting out to better products. So all the people who don't know, the old products are becoming more expensive because their claim ratios are going up because a lot of people are moving out of those products. So your premiums are going up in the old products. Whereas if you use a proper advisor like Bajaj Capital, get a proper health insurance benefit review done, probably you can, Anjali, even at your age, you can save 40% of the premium, get double the health insurance coverage
Yeah.
with much better terms because the newer products are much better. Example, people have bought term insurance, very expensive, and the coverage is till the age 65, 70. They will outlast it. Today, at a similar premium, you can get coverage till the age of 99, which almost becomes a legacy planning because only 0.3% of the people, okay, even in the bestest of the estimate, will reach till 99. So, don't you want your term insurance to outlast you?
Yeah. So it's like a full life plan. Yeah.
Yeah, because people today don't spend the money. I want to give it to my children. I'm saving this for my children, but I'm not living my life. You know, worldwide, they'll buy the insurance if they want to create an endowment for their children, but they will use their money.
No, so what I hear you say is that, easier product constructs and more simplification of conditions, etc., have somehow probably been one ploy that the industry has used to build some trust, right, into them. But do you think that this is like a universal, or there is still a lot that catch up that the industry needs to do to help people overcome this fear and skepticism?
No, Anjali, this is the question. Today, the topic is customer experience,
Yeah,
okay, the CX.
yeah,
CX, the future is all about simplification.
absolutely.
Do you get my point? So, if you look at Apple, what did they do? They removed the clutter and their ad was white page with just the product. Yeah, so there is a revolution happening of simplification in customer experience. The more simple you make the customer experience, the more transparent you make the customer experience, more concise you make your communication, is the revolution that is happening. Now, a lot of people don't understand that. They're trying to complicate things. They're trying to, this thing. When we made our own credit card, the Tiger card, what did we do? Ticket today, why is Tiger card, despite being right now it's free for life, it's rated amongst cards like Emerald and Insignia, which are the best cards and where you have to pay 10, 20,000 rupees per annum.
Sure.
Today, you are getting the same features in Tiger card without paying any cost or even higher benefits like 6 reward points per 100, is because we have removed all the useless features. We have brought down to 4 5 core things that people need. We did a huge normal credit card has 50 benefits and you don't even know about those benefits, but that's the cost to the company. We removed them. We said, what does a person need? Number one, he needs a good reward points. Number two, he needs a conversion to good airline program. Let's not have 10. Earlier we were Vistara, now we are Air India. Let's not have 10 airline this thing because Air India itself is a part of Star Alliance and you get so many. Third is, what do you need? You need the lounge access at the airport. We said, okay, let's provide that. What do you need for the affluent? Sometimes you need golf. We said 4 golf games. Then we said, what do you need? Movies. So we said, rather than buy 200, get 200, why complicate? You simply get 1,000 rupees of free movie tickets. Whether you buy it 1+1, you buy one ticket. So we simplified and we removed everything else.
Yeah.
And we put everything into the experience, the app, and making sure that you are able to understand. Even app, we made it very simple. This is my charges, this is my spend, this is my payment. Take one click and make that payment. That's it. Okay,
So
so
I think that
simplification, I think, is the main customer experience thing, which I try to tell my team. The more simple you keep it, the more powerful it will be.
absolutely.
We have ourselves seen, you tell a person, and to show his capability, he comes with a 60-page slide. Now, 60 page is not going to get you. But if he wants to be effective, if he came with a 5-page slide, you could have had a much better conversation with that guy.
So I think very well said. Transparency and simplification builds trust, and clearly it helps the customer hop onto your side. So and that increases adoption and penetration for all of us. But since we are still on the subject of CX, let's talk and double click into one more topic of personalization, which is more customization, hyper customization to a customer, right? Can finance truly be that tailor made? Today, customers have come to expect Netflix like recommendations. When I go in, it should be, this is the movie for you, go watch this as per your pattern, etc. So, how close are we to making that a reality? Is it possible to do personalized financial guidance, and that too at scale?
See, yes, it is definitely possible. And the AI, that's what excites me, is that, see, earlier India had a major problem in the last 10, 12, 14 years, is that all the greatest Indian IT talent was going abroad. And in India, IT projects were actually very difficult to implement. And everybody used to tell me IT is very difficult, best products are not being made because the best people were not staying in India. The best talent was being body shopped outside. People were not able to build these solutions that you're talking about. It was a very tough road. Now AI doing 80% of the coding and then quality checks, etc, I think that's going to happen, and this is very, very required. That today, we have to design 70, 80 different personas. We have to talk to those people rather than trying to force fit our products. I go to insurance companies and I tell them, don't try to force fit. And then they say, I have a product which I launched 8 years ago, and you can look at it in this way, that way, and you can lie here and you can tell, and it will fit that need. I say, oh, wow. But if the partners are like that, what can we do? Okay, at the end of the day, we have to build a product as per the customer need. But wherever that has happened, one of the concepts that's doing really well is tulip. People were used to be told to buy a term and a mutual fund. People used to have a term separately, mutual fund separately, taxation issues, this. Now that has been brought together. Today you can get coverage till 85, 99. You can get a mutual fund at a similar cost of a mutual fund together. And that product is rocking it.
Yeah.
ठीक है, because it meets the need of what the customer wanted. So it is about understanding the personas, and personas are not 7, 8, 10. Today, if you do proper persona planning, there'll be 130, 40 personas. And it is going and interviewing each and every those personas, understanding what is their pain point, and then building a solution to that, for that. So hyper localization or customization, and this whole startup revolution that people talk about, what is that? It's about companies which are only playing in particular niches. They are startups, and that is why they are winning, because they are saying, okay, I will work only with these two personas, but I will give them a mind blowing experience. Today the larger companies are losing because they are not doing that. So maybe you have to decide, I cannot deal with 130 personas, but these 40 personas or 30 personas is I can deal with, and I will out of them, and I will deal with them really, really well.
Yeah, be the best at it.
Yeah, so this is again something that a lot of people used to blame us for saying no to customers. And it was known in the market that you go to Bajaj Capital and they may say, sorry, we don't have the capacity to take you on as a customer. Because we realized that if we took on more customers than we could service, we would just create a bad name. And when we compromised on that, we had new board, no, you cannot say no. And at the end of the day, then the challenges started, that the customer service, this, that, isn't up to the mark, their complaints. So it becomes a very vicious cycle.
Right. No, I think the power is in data. As you said, what's the persona? What is the profile? What are they looking for? How can we best customize? Because solutions are different for everybody. So data is important. And I think the whole digital economy that we are in is helping segment and serve customers differentially. So let's talk a little bit about how these digital tools are transforming, relationships. Today customers can buy insurance, say at a checkout, right? Or maybe get investment advice through their banking app, because with embedded finance, open banking, all of these are novel ways of distributing insurance. How's that changing the role of the financial advisor? Because it is digital. Can in future it be totally digital, or will it still remain transactional unless a human touch comes in? And do people feel confident buying without that human face?
Internationally, there are two types of people. Okay, they are BYD, which is build your own, and then there are people who are willing to pay a prime for premium, who are wanting to call the best. So whether so, in India also you have a DIY customer base, and then there are people who are willing to pay for an advice. They are two distinct people. So wealth management in future is only going to be about people who are willing to pay a price, because today costs are going up. But if you want an experience, you want good advice, you want an ethical advice, then you have to pay the price for it. You go to an advisor and say, I'm not willing to pay you, but you don't cheat me. How can that happen? Because either he will try to take money from you, be very clear, I'm charging you this and I'm giving you this. Otherwise, he wants to maximize. And that the problem that happens with an advisor also, they want to maximize their revenue. Even if they know it's a 1 lakh rupee job, they may quote you 5 lakh rupees, because at the end of the day he wants to make 4 lakh rupees additional profit, or 4.25, because the 1 lakh only has 25,000 rupee profit built into it. So that is the whole problem. And there, where we want to play a role is the people who are willing to pay a premium for advice. We are trying to build a team, which doesn't want to do the wrong thing. They are willing to happy to work at that 25,000 rupees, and we are willing happy to work with clients who are willing to pay that 25,000 rupees. As I said, Tika, if a person is not willing to pay that price, I'm very happy to say no to him.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I had a very big meeting with a big client, and he says, I'm willing to pay you this fees. I said, look, I'm not going to keep anything hidden, and I'm sure you don't want me, but I will not work less than this. So at the end of the day, it's not worth my company's time. Whether you like it or not, this is what we are going to charge, and you can take a call whether you want us or you want anybody else. But we are not going to compromise less than that, but we are not going to keep more than that also. Okay, so you have to be very, very clear with the customer, and there are so many people who are willing to pay that price. And when yesterday I was talking about demographics, I was doing my own. It is less than 30 people who don't have that much income who are more into DI. There are people in the every bracket, but the people above 30 in India are the new generation is willing to pay a price if they get the right. They are confident I'm getting the right service, and that between that 35 to 45, 50 are people who are willing to pay the price, and they are the ideal customer for insurance. They are the ideal customer for mutual funds, because insurance has one big problem. I only want to buy it when I can't get it.
As well said.
Yeah, so other day a friend calls me. He says, "Look, yeah, XYZ has got cancer. It's going to be a very tough journey."
Now get me a plan. Sure.
I said, why would anybody give you insurance? He said, "तेरे जेब से it's not you.
Yeah.
You are a broker. Yeah, you're going to get me from some other company. I'm not asking you to insure me. Get me some insurance." But the point is that when he was healthy, they had a chance. They refused to buy. And these are painful treatments. Today, cancer causes cost 5, 6, 7, 8 lakh rupees a month for years on years. When people, so, and if you look at anybody's family with a financial crisis, is 80% based on some health. So, despite the cost going up, you cannot afford to do without it.
No, you made a very interesting and important point about, financial advice in this country being free and, how much people value free services. So actually, if at mass we could make it paid advice, and when people have skin in the game, they listen more intently and they are more committed. So maybe that's an interesting and a way to look at how advice can change. And you said people are willing to pay. So I think that's a great change. But moving on, one very interesting question around digital and AI is that we are seeing AI disrupt so many categories, but is it possible that in the future AI can become like a financial coach? Can it replace human advisors? Because the ability of AI, even if it's artificial intelligence, it is intelligence. Can it understand the depth of human financial anxiety? Because there are, as you said, emotions involved to money. It's not a transactional decision. And that's what makes it tougher, right? And I know it's not in the near future, but maybe sometime in the longer future.
See, AI is going to become more and more important and part of the financial advisory process. but I think as a tool of enabler. See, I would highly recommend against using AI as a financial coach totally, because you have to understand AI has a habit of hallucinating. Okay, and hallucination is a very human habit. Yeah, so you know people who have some beliefs which are absolutely crazy, and you say, how can this guy believe this? But he has that belief. Similarly, AI sometimes has beliefs which is absolutely crazy, and your money is the most important thing for you. So suppose your AI starts hallucinating and starts giving you stupid advice, and you're depending on it. So you need that human element of a person who you feel is important, is a part of an organization which has a checks and balances to check the quality of advice being given. And I think that is a very, very important part of this whole journey and building this customer experience.
No, no, I totally agree. There is a huge question of ethical usage of AI as well, and to how far we can stretch that argument of empowering AI to take decisions on our behalf. So clearly, the role of the human, and it's also, I think, is working only on the basis of past data, and there is that much it can look into the future and project.
Yeah, yeah. I think, see, ethical use of AI is a different thing, and I don't agree with that. I'm not into that argument.
Okay.
That look, if it can something, if there is a tool which can make your life better, don't use it because it will make somebody else's life worse. It's like, when Bel Gadi se hota tha, don't use tractor. ठीक है, there was a lot of movement कि no, tractor will kill the Balgadis and this and that. If you imagine, if you had stayed at Balgadis, you always have to move to the best technology, but you have to understand the limitations of that technology, what is the right thing to use and what is not the right thing. And there are some elements, especially financial advice, where good quality human intervention is definitely going to be required, and you must have it.
Sure, sure. So I'm mindful of time, but this has been an incredible conversation. But before we let you go, I would request you to make one final takeaway for both sides of the spectrum. One, what is it you would say is one CX lesson that financial services companies should prioritize? You've given us a few, but if there's one more, what would you say they should prioritize? And the second is, what would you tell our listeners one thing about securing their financial future?
Yeah. So on the CX side, guys, design thinking is the future. It's been around. Design thinking says clear your head, listen to people, understand their need, and build a product on that need. So this is very, very important. Don't have a solution in mind. It's imagine going to a doctor, he wants to give you a crocin for everything. So you ask him, I have this, take paracetamol. I have this, take paracetamol. Now, would you trust that doctor? So
Yeah.
this is where some financial advisors work, where they have their products they want to sell, and you give them any need. At the end of the day, this is the way Indian life insurance industry works. I have 5 products. Whatever your need, I'll try to fit into those products. You can, at the end of the day, let customer go to hell. I don't care. So this is one way, but the other way is that you understand the customer, understand his need, and develop products. And there are good people in the industry who do that also, and they create exceptional products. Okay, so this is and on the financial advisor side or the client side, guys, financial planning is a very important tool, and you must invest some time in being financially wise. Start with reading Rich Dad Poor Dad or some other decent books, but Rich Dad Poor Dad is good enough. It teaches you the basic. Do some program like Fantastic done by International College of Financial Planning, because if you don't have the basic knowledge, then you are giving an opportunity for people to cheat you. Yeah, so without having a basic knowledge, you cannot even hire an advisor. There are people who get amazing work out of consultants. And there are other people who say consultant comes and listens to me and vomits out what I say. The difference is not the consultant. Different is your knowledge of how a consultant works, so that you are able to get the best out of him. Yes, you may meet the wrong person, but then you have to say bye. Okay, sorry, you're not right for me, or you're not willing to do the right thing. But if you have the knowledge on how a consultant works, how to get information out, how do you drive the consultant, you will get a much better output. Same is with technology, same is with everything. So don't think I can do financial planning, I can reach financial awareness without investing in myself. You have to do some program, you have to have a decent amount of basic knowledge, and that cannot be AI based. It has to be some proper program which is recognized. And once you have that, then you use an advisor, because then you're using your knowledge. And those people who are rich and you see they invest very well, most of them will have an advisor, but most of them themselves will be very knowledgeable. Building a combination between your knowledge and the advisor's knowledge is the critical key that I will tell people. Invest some amount of money in doing a course that helps you be a better investor.
Perfect. That's wonderful. So we just heard the formidable Mr. Sanjeev Bajaj encouraging all of us to take our first step towards financial security if you have not done so far as far. And he also says it's never by default, it's always by design. It's always by choice. So you have to make that choice today and take the requisite steps it takes in empowering yourself and in appointing somebody who can help you walk that. And we've also interestingly spoken about, how AI and customer-centric innovation are shaping the industry, and how trust is slowly being built with more interesting products, more customer-oriented products, and more simplification and transparency, helping people walk that path. So thank you so much, Mr. Bajaj, for sharing such valuable insights. I really appreciate your time and your inputs. And to our listeners, stay informed, stay secure, and be prepared for and also ahead of the game of the unpredictability of life. Financial planning isn't just about securing wealth, it's about securing dreams, opportunities, and peace of mind. So, whether you're just getting started or looking to refine your financial plan, the most important step to take action is don't wait for the perfect time. It's now. And yeah, you can reach out, of course, to Bajaj Capital to seek that personalized support. And back to CX, of course. We'll see you in our next episode of CX Excellence Chats till the next month. Keep mastering the art of CX. Remember, it's that one ingredient that ensures your business out continues to have happy customers, which ensures good revenue and margin for times to come. So do like and share this video. It's the one way to enhance our tribe of CX believers and CX doers. Thank you so much and see you again. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.